Hi, guys.
Hello.
We're here to basically welcome the Evil-a-thon and kind of push you guys, motivate you to read a little bit today. I'm joined by the lovely Sharon. Finally have her on my channel.
Yay.
I met her thanks to Amy. Amy has been saving us with the reading sprint, so now you have one more day to add to your schedules for the month of November. I'm going to be hosting four reading sprints, so I will let you guys know when they're coming on X. I always want to say Twitter and on Instagram. So yeah, we're here today to start the new TBR pile. You want to introduce yourself a little bit, Sharon? Tell people where they can find you, all of that.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Sharron and Sharron Joy Reads, and you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And I work and read and review, and that's basically what I do. I love reading since I was a kid. I'm actually quite a bit older, I think, than Kasha. I'm in my mid-50s, and I've been reading since I was, 4 or 5. And so yeah, I've probably read thousands of books, but I love reading, love horror, especially in indie
Yes.
horror. Is my
Yes.
specialty, and yeah, absolutely love it. So I'm absolutely delighted to be, because we've both seen each other on Amy Sprints, but we've never been on together, have we? So it's
Yeah.
really nice to be on with you. Thank you for inviting me, and I love these because I don't need an excuse. I'm going to read anyway. I may as well be doing it with you. I'm going
Yeah.
to be reading all night anyway, so it's excellent. But welcome everyone to the Evil-a-thon.
I feel like I'm more focused if I'm on reading sprints. Like I feel like
Yeah.
the pressure of having to read. So it really works for me like psychologically.
I'll get angsty. If I don't read every day, I'll get really angsty. I'll get up at 6ish, half 6, and I'll read before I start work. And then I read
Oh.
at lunchtime, and then I read in the evening. So it's my main hobby, really, because I'm disabled, so I don't really go out the house. I'm a bit of a hermit. I work from home, and so that's all I do is read. Really, it's my main hobby, and but I love it absolutely. I'm a big advocate for indie horror,
Yes, you got
especially.
nominated.
I did. I wasn't that
Yeah.
lovely. I was
Yeah.
so I was completely gobsmacked. Really, really honoured to be nominated. Yeah, it was good fun. So yeah, and I
Yeah.
hopefully I'm starting an indie horror book club on TikTok probably in
Nice.
um in January, and so aiming to promote indie horror, especially on KU, on Kindle Unlimited, because a lot of people have that, so it won't
Yeah.
cost a lot of money, but people can buy them if they want to. But trying to promote, especially some of the British indie authors that I'm friends with. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. Yeah.
Perfect. So, what are you gonna read today?
So I'm going to start the first prompt you had.
Yes,
Um,
the Needle Pete was the first one.
the needle pit. So
Yes.
I'm on my Kindle. So I'm going to be reading Hidden Pictures by Jason
Oh,
Rekulak. I've seen this around a lot, and a lot of my mutuals have recommended it, and it's been on my Kindle for months. So I thought that I would start that tonight. I'm also doing it as a buddy read with another lady on TikTok called Joanna, a young girl who I'm friends with. And so I'm just interested really to see, because there's quite a lot of pictures in it. There's like illustrations in it, how that's going to translate onto a Kindle.
oh yeah.
Um, I know we both have a lot of physical books, but I
Just a little
prefer
bit.
to read on my Kindle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've got, my house is more books than brick, really. But so it'd be interesting to see how it translates onto a Kindle, because I know in the actual physical book, the illustrations are quite prominent. So, yeah, but I've heard kind of mixed. Have you read it,
Mm.
Kasha?
No, I've been meaning to because one of my friends from BookTube, Nakia,
Yeah.
Nakia, she really enjoyed it. And normally, we don't find many common books that we both love, so I wanted to really try it. And
Yeah,
she's very picky. Yeah,
I've had mixed feeling. So some of my mutuals have really loved it, and some
yeah,
have DNF'd it. So it's been a complete extreme. of kind of
Mm.
either love or hate. So it's going to be interesting. I've never read anything by this author before. It's blurbed by Stephen King, and we're all
Yep,
King
he
stands
blurbs
here, aren't
everything
we?
at this point.
I think he does. Do you think he gets paid by the letter? I've
I think
got.
he blurbs everything. Is there books out there that are not blurred by Stephen King at this
I
point?
know, I know. I've never read anything by this author before, so it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see. I usually
yeah,
read two or three things at the same time. So I'll probably also be starting the YA book club, The Big Bad Me.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I'll flip between, I reckon, in
Amazing.
between making cups of tea.
I'm curious to see what you think of Hidden Pictures because I feel like we have the same kind of taste in horror,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
maybe you can tell me what you feel about it when you start it.
yeah.
I'm
I quite
excited.
like that, because we both kind of know what we like. So I'll rarely DNF a book because I only
Yeah.
buy books that I know I'm going to like. So this one was kind of a I'm not sure about because half the people I love it, and half the people I love hate it.
Hmm.
So it is a very kind of Marmitey book, I think. Do you have
Yeah.
Marmite in Netherlands? You do,
No,
don't
but
you?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
I hate Marmite. My husband loves it,
It's like
and
Vegemite in Australia, isn't it? I
it
think it's the
actually
same
makes me
thing.
want to heave. It makes me so ill, and he's not allowed to eat it, so can't stand it.
Perfect. And anybody in the comments, let us know what you're doing, reading,
Yeah.
productivity, whatever you're doing, let us know. So for me tonight, I think I'm gonna start Five Survive by Holly Jackson because I'm going to Yelk very soon and I still have not read it. And I want to know because I know I think she wrote also The Good Guide's Girl to Murder.
I've read the first one of that, but I never
Yeah,
read the trilogy. But the
yeah.
first one was supposedly the best one anyway.
I've
But
been
so
curious
yeah,
about that one as well, but this one has a trope that I like, which is people trapped somewhere and there's
yeah,
somebody that wants to kill them and there's a secret between them.
that
And
sounds fun.
I like that it's people that actually know each other. So it's even like more tense because one of them has a secret, but they all kind of know each other and there's this sniper that wants to kill them and you don't know why. So I don't know, I'm excited. So I love when people are trapped somewhere and someone kills starts to kill them one by one. It's
I
one of those
love it.
tropes. It's just like so satisfying to me
I love
for
that as
some
well.
reason. Yeah,
The victim stalked and
yeah,
unable to get out is a fantastic trope, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh
Love
yeah, I
it.
love that.
And then I have here my Kindle as well, because I got a couple of books on my Kindle, thinking that if I go to London, maybe it's easier to read on my Kindle because
Yeah.
I'm already gonna buy a lot of books there. I don't want to be carrying my TBR pile to London and back.
Are you taking books to sign, or are you going to buy them when you're there?
Both. So I have already some, and some of them I already managed to read. So those I will be taking with me, and then the rest I'll just buy them there. I just wanted to be more ready and read books by the authors if I didn't know them because I don't know. I think it's nicer if you already are familiar with their work a little bit. But I didn't
Yeah.
manage to read all the ones I wanted as suspected. But you know, but I'm
Life.
gonna come filled with books, so I don't want to carry my TBR with me. So I bought a couple of Kindles. I got episode 13, which I'm curious to know if I'm gonna like it
Loved
or
it.
not.
Loved it.
Yeah, because normally paranormal stuff like that doesn't work with me, so I'm kind of curious to see.
It's an
And
interesting. I think it's the way it's written is so interesting because it's written in like journal form
yeah,
and like investigative reports from each member and like
yeah,
text messages, and it is just. I know I can't tell you why I enjoyed it because the story's not particularly new,
yeah,
but it's just um the way it was given. It was just so
yeah.
compelling. I thought the ending fell a bit flat for me, but the rest of the book, I couldn't put it down, and I couldn't tell you why.
Oh,
It
now
was
I'm curious.
it was really compelling to read. Um, and yeah, it's good fun. I mean, I love paranormal horror, ghost stories,
Yeah,
anything supernatural. Actually, there's no horror trope I don't like, except romancy ones.
yeah, that's fair.
Unless they kill
That's
each
fair.
other, then maybe I'd read it.
And like Ready or Not, that movie was amazing.
Yes,
I
indeed.
loved it. And I also got Murder Run by John Hunt. I don't know if you
Oh,
read something by him. I only
mm,
read Dollhouse, and it was one of the more disturbing books I've ever read.
it's a
And I
good
was like,
book.
I need to read more by him. Like, it reminded me of the movie Ghostland. Like, those two go together for me. And I
Yeah.
really like how disturbing it was. So I got another one by him, and I got Into the Drowning Deep because I
I've
wanted
got
to
that on my
try that
Kindle.
one. Yeah,
I've got that
I've
on my
heard good
Kindle too.
things, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm not sure because Murder Mermaids and stuff, but I heard really good things, and I'm willing to give it a chance. So,
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna start with Five Survive. So let me check the comments real quick. Say hello to the people. Hi
Hi,
guys,
Emelina.
and
Hi,
hello.
Deanna.
Let's see the second book in the Gravekeeper. Yes,
I just
yeah,
read my first Darcy Coates the other day from below. I'm
yeah,
terrified of deep water. So it's one I'm salophobic. So anything like it doesn't scare me, but it chills me. It was brilliant.
yeah.
I'd never read anything by her before, so I was very impressed.
I've only read one as well, The Hunting of Ashbourne House, I think it is. And I liked it because it was supernatural, but the main character, I think she was in her 30s and she had a cat. And, the, yeah, I was like, I
It's like
loved
us, isn't it?
it. Yeah.
I've got that on my. That's
So,
one of my other prompts. Is the supernatural book I'm reading, The
yeah.
Haunting of Ashburn House.
Oh, yeah, you're reading that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Nice. I hope you like it. Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
that's a good star rating. So she
It
was obviously
is.
impressed.
I hope I
I'm
love
not.
it too. Family Game.
Oh
I've never heard of that. Do you know
no,
it?
neither have I.
I
No, I
haven't seen
don't.
that. Well, let us know what
I
it's
don't even
about.
recognise the author.
No, me neither. Yeah,
Hello, Andreas. Murder
yeah,
mermaids. I mean,
yeah,
what? Oh, why not? I've just
yeah.
dropped my Kindle on the floor.
That's
Oh, there you
Into the
go,
Drowning
Sharon.
Deep by Mira Grant, I think it was. Yeah,
I read The Rays Incident by Brianna Morgan, and that was about murderous mermaids. It's a novella. She's an indie author. Very, very good, Andreas, if you fancy Murder Mermaids. It's on KU.
yeah,
So if you've got Kindle Unlimited, it's free.
nice. What else? Not particularly prepare. Okay, that is fine. You have time. If you have options, let us know. We help you. We're good. We're good here. Oh dear. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with Five Survive and then see if I change for the second sprint. I guess it depends if it really if I really need to know. We'll see.
Exactly.
So we're gonna do. I'm aiming for 3 sprints today, or of around 40 minutes, depending how much we talk and all that, so we don't end up too late. So we're gonna start the first sprint of 40 minutes. I'm using the Pomodoro Kitty, so I apologize in advance for everybody.
Meow,
Yeah, exactly.
meow. Oh,
Sometimes my
my
cats
cats
look
have all
up
looked
like,
at me. Yeah, my
yeah,
cats all looked at me then.
mine do sometimes as well. Okay, let's do this. Let me share the
Have a
screen with you
good sprint,
guys.
everyone.
Yes, let's go for it. And I'll see you in 40 minutes, guys. Hello.
Hello.
Hope nobody got scared.
He's a different colour kitty than the one Amy uses, isn't he? He's a cute black kitty on a blue background. He's
Yeah,
so cute.
it's like my black boys, you know.
He keeps blinking at me. I love it.
Nice, nice. So, how did you do, Sharon?
Yeah, I'm 25% in.
Ooh, you're a fast reader.
Um, I am. I'm so. Don't you find you read quicker on Kindle as well than you do on a book?
Sometimes, yeah.
Just because you just flicking, aren't you? It's not like you've got to
Mm,
change position with a book.
yeah.
Um, so and also, do you know, probably about, I don't know, 4 or
Oh, there's
5% of that's
pictures, right?
gonna
Yeah.
be pictures. Pictures are quite good. You know, I was saying I wasn't sure how they would do that on a Kindle, but they're kind of black and white children's drawings. So um it's actually quite good. You can see them. And actually I'm quite enjoying it.
Oh,
It's
interesting.
the horror's not kicked in yet. Um but the girl she's babysitting this child basically who's got an imaginary friend called Anya, who is
Mm-hmm.
this, girl in a white nightdress with long black hair, and she keeps asking him to draw pictures of weird stuff. Hasn't got
Mm.
really weird yet, and the woman who's the nanny is an ex-addict, so this is like her first proper job, and she's living in like the summer house in the garden where a woman was murdered 80 years ago.
Hmm.
So it's strangely interesting. It's not frightening, um, but I like the story and I like his writing. His writing's very. The little boy's cute. The parents and the parents. It's all a bit perfect at the moment. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting
Yeah.
for it all to get to hell in a minute,
Yeah.
because it's all this kind of perfect little family in their perfect little house. They've just arrived from Barcelona. The dad's something to do with corporate, international corporations, and so the little boy speaks some Spanish. So there's quite a bit of Spanish in this.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, it's this, but it's interesting. I'm enjoying it, but it's not frightening at the moment. But we
Okay.
live in hope, Kasha. We live in hope.
Well,
Um,
it's a thriller, I think, more than a horror, I think.
yeah, I think so.
So,
You
yeah.
think to yourself, this family's a little bit too perfect, and you know what I mean. And there's a weird woman who lives next door who reads auras.
Mm.
She's quite interesting. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. But I'm buddy reading this, so I need to slow down. I think because the girl I'm buddy reading with, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have got to 25% yet.
Yeah, because
I'll
you're
have
a
read it
fast
before she
reader.
starts.
Yeah.
How did you get on?
So I got like 50 pages in for anybody that just joined. I'm reading Five Survive by Holly Jackson. I'm not the fastest reader, but 50 pages is fine, I guess,
Oh,
in
that's
40
good.
minutes.
Yeah.
And so nothing has happened yet either. It's just they're setting up the scenario, I guess. So we have six friends that are driving inside of an RV to a campsite to kind of party with friends. It's spring break, and you kind of learn a little bit about them. And I thought it was interesting that the parents were calling them, so the parents are present, which is something that in YA sometimes is just not there. So I appreciate it because it
Absent
makes it
parents.
realistic, you
Yeah.
know? It makes it realistic. Like if your kid would be in an RV with friends driving somewhere in the middle of the
Yeah.
night, you will want to know if they're okay. So,
Yeah.
um, and it also helps because the author uses that to show that the connection is starting to be really wonky. So the phones are starting to not really work well, and it comes to a point where they have no reception now, and they have a flat tire. So
It's
I thought it
building
was an
up.
interesting way, yeah, so like an interesting way of not like flat tire and we have no connection. Like you already saw it coming that the connection was a little bit wonky when the mother called. So now they have no connection. and they have a flat tire. So they're gonna see if they can change it so that they can continue. But I'm guessing something's gonna go terribly wrong.
That's
And
that's the feeling I get with this one. As
yeah,
it's building
yeah,
up to something really quite horrible happening, I think.
yeah.
Um,
So now I
and we're
wonder if somebody put something on the road, if somebody knew they were gonna take that road. My head is starting to spin, like, because they
ah,
took like apparently wrong turns. So is somebody that was giving directions leading them there without me knowing? Like the guys that are in the RV, the friends are all taking turns driving and giving directions. So because the phones were kind of not working properly, did somebody lead them there? Or because how could like a foreigner, like somebody that is not in the RV, know that they would end up exactly there? Or is the flat tire really just accidental? Like that's what my head is at right now.
and this is the
Oh,
thing, because we read a lot of very convoluted horrors.
yeah.
You automatically, in my brain, I go to the worst case scenario. So, do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I don't know what happens in this book, but already I'm thinking, that it's not an imaginary friend, it's some possessed demon who's with this
Mm,
child. And
yeah.
the parents aren't really, as good as they are. They're secretly satanic worshippers or something. I mean, and I don't think that's true, but
Mm,
in my brain, I'm going to go into that because that's a lot of what I read.
yeah, we
But
overthink a lot. Yeah.
I have to say, teenage parents in YA kill me off. They make me laugh. I'm
Yeah.
in the Tales Point Horror Book Club, and those are from the 90s. And obviously, I
Yeah,
was an
those are
adult.
so cheesy.
I was an adult in the 90s, so I didn't read them, obviously, because I was having far too much fun being an adult. But I'm quite enjoying them now because they are very kind of cheesy and but the parents in them are so neglectful. I mean, I grew
Yeah.
up in the 70s, we were completely no parental supervision, but it's just hysterical how neglectful their parents are. They don't
If
seem to
they're even
care where
there.
they are.
If they're there at
Yeah.
all.
Oh yeah, let me know when you're back. Not even check in.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
the mother in this book is overprotective, almost a helicopter parent.
Mm,
Um, it's the exact opposite. But yeah.
nice. Right. Let me quickly check the comments, see what people have been doing. Andreas is there to give us some suggestions. So he's a big fan of Brianna Morgan, Trick
She's
or
great. She's just
Treater
got
number.
married, Brianna.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a great. I've read both of those, and they're brilliant. I haven't read Tim McGregor's Lure though, so I'll have a look for that one. Thank you, Andreas.
yeah. I mean, it's rare probably that there's things you haven't read because you read a lot every month.
I know I read a lot of indie. I get sent a lot of indie
Yeah.
horror to ARC read and our beta read for a couple of indie authors and proofread. And so yeah, I do read a lot of them, but there's
Yeah.
so many. There's so many.
Too many every year. And we still need to do remakes of movies, especially movies that came out like 3 years ago. And
Why?
there's so
Why?
many books out there, and I'm like, why? Why are we
Have you
doing
been
this? Like, why?
have you been watching, I don't know if you like, do you like Goosebumps and stuff like that, Kasha?
Yeah, I
Have you
need
been
to start the
watching the new
TV
one?
show. No, but I have to. I also seen that Justin Long is in it, and I do love Justin Long.
I'll tell you something.
So
I watched the original movies, the original series of Goosebumps when I
yeah.
first started reading Point Horror, and I loved them. They're very nostalgic, and I loved them. This new series is a little bit Disneyfied, and so with the
Mm-hmm.
first 4 episodes, I was like, "It's okay,"
Mm-hmm.
but the fifth and sixth episode,
I see.
brilliant, really good, and Justin Long is really, really creepy in this.
I love him so much.
So
Yeah,
do
I have
I. He's
to watch it.
fantastic
Yeah,
actor. Yes.
I love him. So
And
yeah,
so yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But the first few, it was kind of, but
yeah,
it does get better. And the one this week was fantastic as well. I think that was episode 6. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
yeah. I have
Yeah.
to catch up. So many things are coming out. I was watching the new Mike Flanagan TV show. The Fall of the House of Usher because I love Mike Flanagan. He's one of my favorites. Midnight Mass was my favorite limited TV show he's done so far. If
I
you have not
haven't
seen
read.
Midnight Mass,
Sorry, I haven't watched the Fall of the House of Usher because it's one of my favourite stories. I
mm,
love gothic horror, especially Edwardian and Victorian horror. Fiction is my
nice.
favourite genre of all horror. If I had to only pick one, that would be it. And I love Poe Sheridan Le Fanu is my favourite, and he wrote Carmilla, of course. Most people know him from that, but he wrote some brilliant, really dark stories, much darker than Poe. So I'm always
Mm,
dubious about watching something of a book I love
yeah,
so much
yeah,
because it's never going to live up to it to me, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Then you should watch Midnight Mass because that one is original. The other ones he's based on things. He has the House on Haunted Hill. He has the House on Bly Manor, and the Fall of Usher, which is the last one he's gonna do in this trilogy. But Midnight Mass, which is also on Netflix, was an original idea, and it is
oh,
fantastic.
I'll watch that
So
then.
yeah, that one
I'm
is
always
fantastic.
dubious about stuff they base from books because
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get that.
sure how you. When I read, I see a movie in my head. I can see visual
Yeah.
images, so it's always the problem for me when they convert it. So, like, if I really love films with books, I separate them in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose the classic is kind of like Harry Potter films or The Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite books of all time. It's my top one of my top five. I can watch the film and the book is different. They're different
Mm-hmm.
things,
Yeah.
because there's so much missing. And the same with the Harry Potter films. Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoy the films. I don't read the books anymore, but I do enjoy the films. Um,
Yeah.
you see them as very separate things. Do you know what I mean? Because there's you
You
can't put
have to in
everything
a
that's in a
way.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
I don't
unless they
watch a lot of
completely
telly.
butcher it, I don't mind changes because changes need to happen
Yeah,
for movies or TV shows. So as long as you don't completely butcher it, I'm fine with some changes and stuff.
it's like the Carrie. It's the Carrie conundrum, isn't it? I
Yeah,
read
hundred
Carrie when
percent.
I was 8 in 1977 when it came out. Because you didn't really have any horror for children in those days. You just went straight to adult, right?
Same. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. It's only really been recently, hasn't it, that we've had really good YA horror for younger middle grade children.
Yeah.
Um, and it's the same with that. I'm sure you've read Carrie and you've seen the film, and one scene particularly is completely different. And I
Mm,
loved it in the book. And in the film, I was like, oh, but then they couldn't do that visually. So they had
mm-hmm.
to change it. And so that's how you have to see it, I think, in a way, is how does it show on a screen when somebody's visually seeing it?
Yeah.
Because in a book you can create the atmosphere. You can't do that as easily in a
Yeah, and
film, I
you can
don't
do
think.
anything you want. You don't have budget problems. You don't have
Yeah,
like
exactly.
any
Exactly.
any problems like with effects or like you can do whatever you want when you're writing. And I rather them changing than doing something that is ridiculous and it doesn't work.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
watched Halloween last I didn't have any trick or treaters last night. And I
Oh yeah.
dressed up, I decorated my whole house, and it was torrential rain. We've got a real bad storm coming in here. We're on a red weather warning for risk to life.
Oh
So
no.
last night was torrential rain, so none of the kids were out. I've got a bucket load of chocolate to get through, which there's that. I mean, that's good,
Yeah.
right?
Positives.
But
Yeah.
I got so depressed and watched Halloween last night again. I must have watched it 4 times
Nice.
this last month. I love that film. And I was listening to somebody on TikTok today saying they watched it and they thought it was a bit slow, and I just wanted to
Mm.
slap them. I'm like, you wouldn't have any slasher films if it wasn't for that film. It broke all box offices. You know what I mean? It was just
Yeah.
so unique at the time. That slow build to horrendous violence had never
Yeah.
been done before.
Yeah. People nowadays just need things quicker. It's a different
Yeah,
generation. Yeah.
they want
Yeah.
instant gratification, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just love it. I just love it. He's one of my favorite horror villains. I just love him.
Yeah, I like him too as well.
Yeah,
I love basically anything John Carpenter has done.
I
Let me see.
agree.
Rolling Deep.
Okay.
I got a re-release. Okay. Yeah, Mira Grant has some like post-apocalyptic books and virus books and stuff like that that I still have not checked out.
I love
Um, yeah,
post-apocalyptic dystopian,
yeah,
especially
same.
horror. It's great fun.
Yeah, I love them because I like to see, what kind of threats we can look forward to.
Yeah,
Oh, look,
exactly.
Amy's here.
Hello, Amy.
Working on Mina and the code edits.
Woohoo!
Yay. Guess it's the last sprint till the end of the year is coming closer. Scary, isn't it?
It is scary. It is scary. I actually saw the pictures of you in Nottingham today at Waterstones. It looked like you had great fun, Amy.
Yeah.
Spirit bares its teeth.
Never heard of that one. Looks nice.
Neither have I. Sounds
Tell us
good.
what's about. Yeah. Every
Oh,
exclusive thing. Ooh.
I tell you, Andreas and Amy's obviously. I'm on the discussion with Amy on Friday. Me and Gemma, and I finished that
Yeah,
book
you took
last night. I left it
took
to
the
the last
exhaustive.
minute, and it is just incredible. Have you read it, Kasha? Have you read it?
No, not yet.
It's
No.
gothic. It's just delicious. Her writing
Mm.
is just scrumptious. It's so descriptive. Oh, just beautiful. I loved the story as well. Loved the twists and turns.
With Gothic for me it depends. Sometimes if the pacing is too slow for too long, I might lose interest.
Yeah,
And not because the writing is not nice or anything like that, but I just feel myself not so invested if it drags and drags and I don't see things happening at some point. Like I don't know, I'm more of a I mean, I don't want to say just slasher, but like those give me more gratification than Gothic or paranormal for some reason. They tend to catch me more and I don't know. So Gothic it depends. I read Mexican Gothic and really enjoyed it.
I love
But
that
I
book
think it's
too.
because it felt like Dracula in a way and I love that. So it depends on the book, it depends. But Gothic and paranormal are it's a hit or miss for me sometimes.
This is just
Yeah.
it's really well paced. The book is only about 350 pages. It's really well paced, and the action kicks in pretty soon. To be fair, and but yeah, I mean, you've got to, it depends what you're in the mood for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I very rarely watch gothic horror on television, on movies. I don't like it. I prefer
Mm.
slashers on films
Mm.
because I like the kill count to be high. But it depends what mood I'm in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get that. I mean, for me, like with horror movies is the thing, it's really hard for me to find something that scares me, so I just watch it for fun. So
Yeah,
I do like to watch more supernatural than read supernatural, like
yeah.
because I feel like then it helps me not to feel that the book is dragging, like if I watch a movie, so it helps me. But that's the type of reader that I am, It's not like the books are not good, the writing is not good. It's just sometimes if it drags a lot for me, I might lose a little bit of my interest, and that's on me. That's
It's got
on the
to
type of reader that I am.
it's got to eat right. It's like anything. It's like food. Tomorrow, yesterday, I might add pizza. Today, I wanted a sandwich. It depends what mood
Yeah,
you're in, doesn't it?
that's true.
And
Yeah.
sometimes and certain times of the year, like November for me is it's a very dark academia kind of. I like things dark academia wise. I like things that are a bit slowly gothic, slow
Hmm.
build. It's a mood thing for me as the year goes
Hmm.
through. Although I'm not a mood reader, I have a set TBR. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it depends what you want in it. Now,
I
what
think
is Andreas asking me here?
yeah, he wants to know favorite genre writers from Down Under.
I actually really love Mark Towers. He's actually British, but he lives in Australia. He's a great indie horror writer. I'm just reading an arc for him at the moment of his first full length novel. All of his novellas are on Kindle Unlimited. Mischief Night I've just finished, which was fantastic, which was set on Halloween Eve.
Mm.
And basically it's a home invasion going very, very wrong.
Fantastic. Love home invasions.
Yes, it was really good. And it's a very quick read, it's about 140 pages, it's a novella. But he's great. I don't I'm trying to think of any indie Australian authors. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'll think about it. And local writers, I'm actually part of the UK indie horror writers Facebook page. I'm one of the only book reviewers on there. They were nearly all authors. And so there's a couple recently on new debut authors. Alexandra Nisneru is a good one. She's just had her first novella, The Hunt, which is a very short monster feature about monster hunters. And then there's Paulina Baker, who's done Living Carer, which is a really, really creepy story about possession, involving a woman who goes in to be a living carer. Both of those are excellent, I have to say. I've also found a fantastic writer in the States called D.M. Gritzmacher. He's written 3 books called the Skullduggery series, and the most recent one he sent to me to read called The Lingering. And that is also excellent. Kind of plays on local legends and brings the horror through that way. But I could go on forever. So, I mean, I will
Yeah,
think
the
about
best is to
Australia
follow
one
her
time.
on Twitter. She gives reviews of many books when she reads them. So if you follow her on TikTok, I think that would be the
Yeah,
best to get
TikTok
recommendations
or
all the time.
Instagram,
Yeah.
or you can DM me and I'll send you a list. And Andres,
There
I
we
am
go.
starting a indie horror book club in
Yeah.
January, so you'll be able to pick up. I'm hoping to get different authors from different areas of the world.
Yeah, I've heard of this one, Hunting on the Hill. I've considered picking it
Yeah,
up. Yeah.
I did enjoy. I did enjoy the original,
Yeah.
um, but this is not written by Shirley Jackson, is it? I don't think
No, no, no.
Elizabeth Ann. I don't know who she is.
Yeah. But it's like it's supposed to be canon, I think. So it's supposed to be like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't know, but maybe it's good.
I'm going to look that up definitely now. I hadn't heard of that
Yeah.
before, Kasha. So, Fall of the
What you mean,
Apparition.
Midnight Mass? I mean,
Yeah, Midnight Mass. I've never
yeah,
watched it.
yeah,
A lot of people go through
yeah.
life without reading any Poe. He is also
Yes.
difficult. Um, um,
Hmm.
it's very gothic, so you have to be in the mood for it. The writing's incredibly descriptive, and often in a tone that is very old-fashioned. So
Hmm.
you have to be in the mood for it. But
Or
yeah,
use audiobooks. I think audiobooks are really helpful with those type
I
of
think
books to
so
help
too.
you. Yeah, yeah. I think
And
classics, if you find audiobooks, they're much easier to consume. Yeah.
the Pit and the Pendulum is one of my favorite stories by Poe. I love that story. But and obviously the Raven, which
Yeah.
is just exceptional.
Yeah. We love Mike
Yeah, again,
Flanagan.
well, so I need to get on this, don't I? I need to get on this
Yeah,
train here.
he did Oculus. Have you seen the movie Oculus?
I
He did
love
that.
Oculus with Karen Gillan, who's
That's from Mike
obviously
Flanagan. Yeah.
she's Doctor Who, and
And
I'm a Doctor Who geek. So
he
yeah.
did Doctor Sleep, the movie.
Oh right,
Yeah.
I've
And
seen that too.
the Ouija, I think one of the Ouija movies, I don't know which one it was. One of the
I
Ouija
like
board
those too.
movies.
Oh
Yeah.
right, okay, I liked both of those. So
Yeah.
Oculus, I really loved. I thought that I was surprised that
Same.
didn't do better. It was so good, so
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you're
Loved
gonna
it.
love Midnight Mass. Midnight Mass will destroy you emotionally, physically. It's
Yeah.
really good.
My heart is, I'm much like the Grinch. It's frozen. I just I don't feel. It's nice to. It'd be nice if I did.
We'll see. Maybe Mike Flanagan will change that for you.
Maybe he'll do it. Maybe he'll do it for me.
Let's see the Spirit
Oh,
Fairs. YA
so
horror.
yeah,
Mm.
so it's what's his name? Joseph something. Is it Joseph something? I've got that one somewhere. Joseph White, isn't it, Ella?
Hell follows
Hell
with
Followed
us.
With Us. I've got that on my TBR shelf. It's got fantastic. The main character is a trans character,
Mm,
and it's really loved. So I think that might be the next one. I think the sequel.
probably.
Covers completely beautiful. But yeah.
Oh, and Absentia
Oh,
is also by
Absentia.
Flanagan.
Oh, I'll have to look that one up as well.
Now you're getting movie recommendations and TV
I don't
shows.
watch a lot of telly. I rarely have television on.
Yes.
So it's always nice to know I've got Joseph Andrew White, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. So are you gonna change then the book so you don't get too far on your buddy read or for the next sprint?
Yes. I am actually reading. I don't know if I love I don't only read horror. I read other stuff as well. The only thing I don't read is romance. And I love a biography.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't, and I'm reading a biography by Sandy Toksvig at the moment called Between the Stops, and she's traveling on a bus around London and
Mm.
telling anecdotes from her life. And so I might flick to that
Okay.
for a change of pace. Why not?
I
Uh,
read biography sometimes, but not always. I do want to read Britney Spears biography because
Me too.
I did grow up like listening to her music when I was a teen before I moved to rock and heavy or whatever. But like I remember when her first video came out and her first song, and everybody was obsessed. And through the years, she's been through a lot, and I'm really curious to read that biography, to be honest. So yeah,
I
that's
read.
one I want to read.
Do you know the man who's just died from Friends?
Yeah, Matthew Perry.
So, sorry, I never watched Friends. So,
Yeah.
but it's so terrible tragedy because I read his biography. I got it free, I think, from Kindle, and it was a remarkable. Have you read his biography, Kasha?
No, no.
It's a remarkable history of his struggles with addiction and mental health, and it was a beautiful read. So I was very sad to hear that.
Mm,
I never watched Friends, but do you know, he just came across as such a terribly troubled, trying very hard, man to try and get his life together. It just seems very sad. But
yeah.
that was a great biography.
Yeah, I might check it out. I My mom used to love Friends. I have seen the whole show.
Yeah,
And I knew a little bit of his struggles and stuff, and yeah, it was very sad. I mean, he had a near death experience, like,
yeah,
and he made it. So it's been quite sad, to be honest, to hear about
it
that.
was.
It's also the first one to go from the group, and it's just like,
It must be devastating for them. I can't. I mean, because they really were like family, weren't they? Found
yeah,
family. They must
yeah,
be devastated. But such a good biography. That was excellent. That one. I really
nice.
enjoyed it. But I love a biography, even about people. I'm reading Patrick Stewart's biography,
Oh, nice.
and because we're mad sci-fi geeks in our house, so and that's really fantastic too. Um, yeah, I love a biography, so I'm going to flick to that. I think.
Okay,
How about
that's
you?
fair. I think I'm gonna continue in this one with Five Survive. I might change in the last sprint, but because we still haven't gotten to any tension or any, like, I want
Juiciness,
to know.
juicy.
Yeah, I need to get to some kind of juicy moment, like you say, until I put it down. So I think I'm gonna keep going with that one.
I'm going to get to
So
the end
let's,
of my chapter on this one, and then I'll switch.
yeah, okay, let's put the key T again.
Meow.
Sorry, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to pop and
There
make a
he
cup of tea
is.
first.
Enjoy, you guys, and I'll see you back in 40 minutes. Hello,
Hello.
everybody. I hope you had a good one. Everybody, let us know in the comments what you have been up to. So, how was it for you, Sharon? So, you
Yeah.
started your other book. Is it about a woman that is from England, or is someone that is not from England that is touring around?
Okay. Did I don't know if you've heard of she's Sandy Toksvig, and she's a TV presenter, and she makes documentaries. She used to present the Great British Bake Off.
Uh,
And she's Danish. She was
uh,
Danish, born in America. Her dad was a Danish journalist and ambassador, and she lives in England. So she's,
it's a
so
mix.
yeah, but she's very funny. She's a comedian, and but she's. Have you ever seen the program QI?
No.
People who are English in the comments will know there's a program called QI where they do these all these weird, odd facts, and they have celebrities on, and it's like a comedy panel show. And she does that one. But yeah, she's a tiny little woman. She's only like 4'10", and she always reminds me of my mum because my mum was 4'10". And but yeah, it's just and basically she loves traveling on the buses. She's quite famous in England, in Britain, but she travels on the buses because she's over 60 and she gets a free bus pass.
Uh,
And she goes
why
around
not?
London, all these hallmarks, and just explains and talks about the history of them, along with anecdotes of her life. It's just it's really easy reading. I did actually read a few more chapters of Hidden Pictures, so I'm about 40% in now.
Oh,
And
no.
so and then I switched. Yeah. But yeah, how did you get on? You still finishing Five to
Yeah.
Survive?
Yeah. So, I read again around 50 more pages. So, we have a situation now.
Oh, any deaths yet?
Basically,
Any deaths?
no, but you know
No.
what? I just realized that I was setting myself up for failure because I thought a lot of people were going to die. But then I remember the title is Five Survive, and we have six people. So,
Oh,
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is only one person going to die?
it
I
better be a
don't
good
know.
death.
3 chapters long. No. But I was like, wait, maybe I set myself up for failure because I thought they were all gonna like die one by one. And then I'm like, are you stupid? The title is Five Survive, so 5 out of 6.
It's only
But I
one
don't know.
death. That's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, maybe she's trying to trick us, or maybe there's other people that come later on. Like, I don't know. So far, because they got a flat tire and they were trying to change it and stuff, but now basically they are in a situation where they have figured out that there is a sniper out there, and they're all trapped inside of the RV, and they're
Ah,
trying to block the windows and stuff and trying to see what they're going to do now because the phones don't have service, the RV cannot move, and they're in the middle of nowhere. So looks great. um so yeah.
classic locked room mystery, isn't it?
Yeah, but now we are inside of an RV and they cannot go anywhere. They don't even know the area. It's the middle of the night. So every chapter, I mean, not every chapter, but there are like sections. So it starts at 10 p.m., then 11 p.m., and now they are in midnight. So they still have the whole night there in the RV. It's not like it's going to be daylight soon or whatever. So I'm still excited to see where it's going to go, but I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of deaths in it. Not sure.
No. I mean, if you want to guarantee deaths, you got to read a slasher, haven't you? And then
Yeah,
I expect a death a chapter at that point. The more gruesome,
I
the
see.
better. But so it depends. I mean, the hidden pictures I'm reading, I'm assuming there'll be some kind of deaths involved, but hopefully not of the little boy because he's very cute. But yeah,
Yeah, but when I'm reading like a one of those thrillers, I kind of expect that not many people are
yeah.
gonna die. Like I thought with a sniper and people trapped, but then of course I realized it's six friends, but it says five survive. So maybe I was setting up myself for failure here. I
But
don't know,
he's not a very good sniper if he's only going to take out one of them, is he?
right? I don't know. Maybe something else happens later, or more people get involved. I don't know yet, because I'm still only like 100 pages in. So we shall see. Anything can happen. I think I might change to something else in the last sprint just to change. So I might go with the John Hunt one because I know I'm
Ah,
gonna get the. I think. Let me see. What was the title again? Something Man Run or something like that. Murder Run. And so
Murder Run.
yeah. So what I know is that this guy, he doesn't like people to tell him what to do. So he has one of those nights where he wants just to revel and goes to a bar or something, meets a girl, they end up hooking up in the hotel room, and the next morning he wakes up with her beheaded head on his lap, and he doesn't know what happened.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, maybe that's what I need right now.
That sounds more up our alley. To be fair, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you
So
know
I'm like,
we're having a conversation about the other day about Richard Lehman?
yeah.
Do you know all of his books were on special offer yesterday on Kindle?
Oh, nice.
So, and I went on there. There was so many I loved, um, and they just brought such good memories back. Do you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
decided I'd only buy one because I've got them all in paperback. So I don't need a Kindle one. So I bought Midnight's Lair.
Hmm.
That's one of the prompts as well. I can't remember which one. But it's the one where they get trapped in a cave. Don't know if you've read that one.
No,
They get
I started my collection. I have the paperbacks over there, but I don't have
yeah.
all of them.
So this is one. This is like a real claustrophobic horror, and there's
Nice.
something really unpleasant in the case. The thing I love about Layman is that they rarely ever a happy ending, are they?
That's fair. I
And
remember Island was terrible. Like the ending, it was like horrible. I was like, damn.
and the thing is though, that's very realistic. I think that
Yeah, it is.
most people who go through things in horror, they wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
And so you just think actually that's far more realistic. And I love the fact that it seems to be all sorted. And then you get to the last chapter and it's like, oh, okay,
Hmm.
everybody's dead. And I love that because that seems far more realistic to me than I'm not a big fan of a happy ending.
Yeah, it depends, like I understand some people need closure or explanations and happy endings. For me, it depends.
Mm,
Um, I think it bothers me more. I think in movies maybe, I don't know, when they everything is too perfect. I think in books I can deal better with it. Like if there's a movie and there's either an open ending or the ending is absolutely horrible, um normally my partner or other people will tell me, oh well, that ending was unsatisfying. I'm like, it's great. I'm like, I loved it. Like, like
I
sometimes
like it.
things don't end up well, and that
I
is just
also
facts.
I also really like it if it's like ambiguous. I love an ambiguous
Yeah.
ending. And in a book, as I say, in a film, I find it annoying. But in a book, I love that kind of thing where they'll end with something, and it's just like, hang on a second, um,
Mm,
what happens next? I think the worst is when you get a really really good, really juicy horror, and then the ending just goes, ugh. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? It's just like it's almost like they just I'm going to end it now, and they
Yeah.
use a really stupid trope or something that annoys me. I'd much rather they left it ambiguous and I could think about what happened myself.
Mm, yeah. For
But
me, also, especially the trope of somebody's the killer that has not been there or was in like one line in chapter two
yes,
and never appeared again. It's like, how do you even want me to suspect this person? Or like, that's just such an easy way out. Let me pull this character from here
I
and just
agree.
make it the killer. Like, no, you have to have like potential suspects and make me work it out, and not just some random person, or sometimes it's someone that is just introduced in the last couple of chapters and you're like,
Yeah,
no.
I hate that too. I hate that because the whole fun of reading, especially if it's a horror thriller, the whole
Mm,
point of that is that you try and figure it out in your head. It's a puzzle, and that's half
yeah,
the fun of reading it. So it's
yeah,
just that's really lazy storytelling to me.
yeah,
It's just like, well, no. You can't just bring a random character in. Anybody could do that. I just think it's weird.
Yeah, it is.
Um, Weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, I am looking forward to my November TBR. Um, it's going to be fun, I think.
What are you gonna read in the next sprint then?
I'm going to carry on with Sandy's books. I've only got 10% left, so I'm going to try and finish that tonight.
Mm,
Um, I also got my, I realised I got my first Evernight, the Evernight subscription, which is a quarterly horror subscription from Illumicrate.
mm.
And I really want to read that this month. So I'm going to have to try and squeeze that in as well. So that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, like I'm always like, oh, my TBR, but I have so many books that I need to read and I want to read, and it's just so
Yeah.
hard to pick. Yeah, and then I buy new books and I want to read those new books, and yeah,
Oh, that
it,
was funny, your TikTok today. So true. You walk in and the rest of your books are like, what are you
yeah,
doing?
like shit, shit, shit.
I mean, it's true. It's true. And the problem is kind of like, I'm getting, as I'm getting older, I realise that I'm probably going to die before I read them all.
Oh, but
And
that's
that,
everybody.
and
Like,
that annoys
you
me to
cannot
death.
read every. Yeah, I know.
I'm going to come back as a ghost just so I can read them.
That's fair. I want to do that too. Let's
It's like,
do
which
it.
ones do I want to read before I die? I want to read all of them, all of the stories.
Yeah. But to be fair, you also don't know when you're gonna die. Like somebody in
No,
their 20s or their 30s,
it's true.
like you never know. So that's why I have to teach myself to DNF harder, because I have
Yeah,
such a hard time DNFing books, and I lose so much time sometimes, like pushing myself through a book
through
or
it.
trying to finish it, and I'm not enjoying it, but I kind of, it's this OCD of you started it, you have to finish it. And I
Yeah.
know I could be using my time for something better, but at the same time, I'm like unable, like my OCD is unable to put it down, and I need to change that.
There's a lot of people like that. They're completists. They don't want to
Yeah,
give in.
yeah.
I'm actually autistic, um, but I have no problem DNFing a book. I'll give a book 50 pages.
Mm,
If it hasn't caught my attention in 50 pages, I DNF.
yeah.
That is a minimum for me. If it's a massive fantasy, then I might give it 100, because
Hmm.
the world building. But 50, no. If it's not caught my attention, or if I'm struggling to pick it up, then I
Hmm.
DNF it. Life's too
Yeah.
short to read bad. There's a lot of good stories out there. As life's too short to read one that's just not for you. It's not a bad book. It's just not
No,
for
yeah,
you. And
yeah.
we're all different, aren't we?
I should give
Subjective.
myself like some page limit, because the problem is sometimes I'm like, oh, it's gonna get better, it's gonna get better. When I realize I'm in the middle of the book, and then I'm like, well, I might just finish. So maybe I should give myself like a page limit and be like, if I'm not enjoying it by page whatever, or I don't feel like picking that one up, then probably I should let it go. Yeah,
And some
maybe I
things
should.
have a time. Do you know what I mean? I've had books that
Yeah.
I've read and I've DNF'd it, and I thought, actually, I probably will like it, but it's just not the right time. And so then I
Mm,
put it back on the shelf. It's like a wine, you got to leave it to ferment a bit until it's ready.
yeah.
And so sometimes it's just not the right, you're not in the right mind space to read it. But that doesn't happen often. I tend to DNF and then immediately give the book away.
Yeah.
Or I either give it, if it's special edition, I
Mm.
give it away, and if it's a paperback, I'll give it to charity or to my friends. So that it's out of my house now. I don't think about it.
Yeah, I mean, when I read a book and I didn't enjoy it, and I know I'm never gonna reread it, then I also just put it to
Yeah,
the donation pile or give it to someone or whatever. Like I don't keep them on my shelves anymore
no.
because I don't see the point. So
And I
I need
unhaul
space.
quite a lot. Do you know,
Yeah,
I unhaul. There's some things I've read that I've really enjoyed that I'm never going to read again. I
yeah,
don't want to keep them. And my
yeah,
shelves are, floor to ceiling. So there's a lot of books in a small space. So I get rid of them if I know I'm not going to read them, because somebody else can enjoy them then. So that's good.
yeah. I try to purge from time to time because I'm always buying new releases and things, and I need space on the shelves. I also
Yeah, me
don't want
too.
to constantly look for space. Like I want to have like a curated collection of the best. And sometimes, even if I enjoyed a book, maybe I'm never gonna reread it, like you said. So what's the point? Like I'm never gonna reread this one. I enjoyed it, loved it, whatever, but it can go because I need space for other things.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
have book boxes. I have, I have a Luma Crate every night now, and I also have the Abominable Book Club, which is
Yeah.
all horror. So just even if I don't buy a book a month, I'll get a minimum of 5 books a month just coming
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
So it's you've got, I've got, it would just be ridiculous. Apart from the fire hazard,
Yeah. True.
I just I do need to be more strict with that really, and I buy more on my Kindle now.
Mm.
Um, I've always had a problem thinking that it's not the same, and it's not the same. But the actual inside of it is exactly the same. The words are the same, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel like the same as holding a physical book, does it? Do you
No.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I struggle with Audible. I struggle with audio books unless it's like a full cast. I just can't listen to someone read at me because they don't read fast enough. Even if I put it at 3 times speed, they're not fast enough. I'll read faster
Mm.
than that. So I'm just like, come on. Yeah. The full cast ones I love. So, but yeah, it's got to be whatever's accessible to you, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I bought myself the Kindle, the new Paperwhite when it came out, thinking I was gonna use it more. And I do use it a lot when I travel. When I go to Spain to visit my family, so I don't have to carry my books. Or now that I'm going to London, I'm gonna take it with some books, so I don't because I'm already gonna carry and come back with a lot of books anyways.
Yes, you are. Take another
But
suitcase.
yes, yeah, my partner is taking a suitcase just for my books, so we're good.
Very good. Well trained.
Yeah, he did that last year as well. So he's like, "But I don't need it." I'm like, "Yeah, but I need your suitcase. You're taking it." Um, and so I really want to use my Kindle more because sometimes I buy a lot of books that I think sound great, but then I don't really enjoy them, and then I have to unhold them and donate them or give them away. And maybe it's better if I'm a little bit more selective with the ones I buy in physical. And
Mm,
if I really love someone in the Kindle, then I can still buy the physical edition and add it to my
that's what I
collection.
do.
Yeah,
I've got a Kindle in every room. So this is my paper white. And then by my side of my bed I have another Kindle, and in my office I have another Kindle to read at lunchtime. And then
nice.
of course the Kindle app on my phone. Um so that there's something to read in every room.
Nice.
Um you know what I mean? So I'm a 3 Kindle family. That's just me.
Crazy.
But 3 Kindle family.
Now I
But
just
yeah.
have all my books are normally in this room, which is the room of I call this like my filming room. Like I do all my videos here, I have all my collectibles, my books and stuff. And if I have to carry a book, then I will just carry it around the house most of the time. I like to have tidiness, like not have things lying around, books here or
Oh,
there,
oh,
because then I
um,
don't find them, and I'm like, where is that book? So I keep them all in the same place all the time, so that I always know where they are, and I don't
I'm
panic and be like,
chaotic.
what is this book?
I'm chaotic. All of my shelves are a mix of red and unread.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
mine
have
too.
separate. I don't have TBR. This is the corner of my living room. And there's 4 bookcases here, and then there's 2 bookcases in my office upstairs. They're also full, 2.5, and then my husband's got one in his room as well. So this is just one corner. I've got the same again upstairs.
Nice. No, I just have this room here,
Ridiculous.
but I do have. I mean, all my books are mixed, read and unread, because I remember what I've read and what I have
Me
not.
too. Me
But I
too.
do have a TBR card so that I put there what I have to read this month, and I know where it is, so I don't
I have
get
a shelf.
crazy.
I've got a little bookshelf here, and that's the stuff that I've just read for October that I need to do filming on, and
Yeah.
my November one
Yeah,
for
same.
what
I have them over there as well. I have them in one of those cards from IKEA. This
Oh yeah, I've got a
this like
couple of them
book
in my
cards.
room.
Yeah, that's where I
Mm,
keep my TBRs. Yeah, for the
yes,
months.
I like being surrounded, but I like the feeling of being enclosed in books.
Yeah, that's the best.
Best
Let's see
feeling.
the comments and then we can do
Hi
the sprint.
Vix.
It's not too late. We still have one more sprint to go.
Yes,
One
we
more.
do. Oh, well done,
Nice.
Ella. Brilliant.
Good job. And Amy's leaving to watch some
Yes,
Goosebumps.
that's
Oh,
such a. I think
she's
Amy's
getting to
gone
the good
now.
one.
But
Yeah.
that's a really good one. That's when
Yeah.
Slappy, the story of Slappy comes in, the dummy.
Nice.
It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna like it. I like stories with the dummies or puppets,
They're
ventriloquists.
creepy, aren't they? Anything
Yeah.
with dolls are
Oh,
creepy.
I like them. I think they're cute.
I like it's like
I
kids,
forget.
anything with kids in is always going to be a bit. Kids are creepy even when they're not possessed.
Yes, because but you know what it is that we find weird about kids is that they are unpredictable, and
Yeah,
sometimes they say things that can be creepy and they don't even know.
yeah.
That's the kind of thing,
Mind you, I
Okay,
do that, and I'm in my 50s, so I don't think that's just kids.
so I have here Murder Run.
Yes, you have to
Let's
let
see
me
if
know
I
what it's
love it as
like.
much as Dollhouse. I really love Dollhouse, but same as Layman, people need to check all the trigger warnings because that's really messed
Yeah,
up book.
yeah. I don't. Yes, check
But
the
I loved
triggers
it.
and the content warnings. Do you
Yeah.
know I read this book a couple of months ago, Kesha, called The City by S.C. Mendes, and it's an independent published bloodbound books, and it has every single trigger and content warning except war and homophobia.
Damn, that's a lot.
Every single one you can imagine is in there. I've never read anything like it in my life. Even I had to put it down a couple of times and go, hang on.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It was horrific. Yeah. It was a great story though. Great story.
I might have to check that. I want to do some vlogs in which I only read books that have been pitched as the most disturbing books. I got a list of some books that people have told me that is the most disturbing book I've read. So I've been like writing down the names, and I want to do some vlogs in which I only read disturbing books and see if I find them as disturbing as readers have found them. So I might have to add that one.
It is really, I mean, I didn't find it just, well, I don't know. I don't,
Well,
I think I'm immune to things like that now, but it was just the level of depravity in it,
I see.
the level of violence, and it was just something I'd never read before. But in the background of that is this wonderful story of a man's search for redemption. It's a
Mm,
fantastic story, do you
hmm.
know? But just the imagery in it is, in the first chapter alone, there was like at least 16 triggers.
Damn.
If you have those triggers, do you know what I mean? I don't have any, but
Yeah.
if you had them, I would never recommend it to someone unless they really liked extreme horror.
I mean, the only thing that bothers me is if animals are being tortured for no reason. If
Yeah.
there is no plot, like if there's no purpose at all for the story or anything that justifies it, then I don't like it.
I
But it's
mean,
just
there are animals hurt in this, but I mean, it is part of the. It explains why the place is so awful,
mm,
but it's actually what happens to the humans that's the worst.
nice. I have no
Far
problem.
more. Yeah, neither do I. But yes, it is. That would, if somebody asked me for the most
This like messed
depraved
up.
book, that
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
it for
Okay.
me so
Yeah.
far.
Okay. Might have to try it then.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's on Kindle Unlimited too.
I don't think I can have Kindle Unlimited here, but I'll check it. I did
Oh
have it
no,
in Germany, but I think in the Netherlands you don't have that subscription. I have to double check because I had it before, and then when I moved here, I had to cancel it. But I'll check again because
it's
otherwise
cheap
I can
enough
get
on
them cheap. Exactly. So
it's
what's
cheap
the
enough on
scenario?
Kindle. But it's like, yeah, it's a detective noir. It's a horror thriller, but it's yeah.
I'll have to
But
check.
I
Okay.
did put it down a couple of times and go, what? Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I'm intrigued now.
Let's just bleach my brain from that one.
Okay, let's go to the last one so it doesn't get too late for us.
Yes.
Last 40 minutes, you guys. Good luck, and I'll see you back in 40.
Bye.
Oh, there he goes. Hello. There we are. Oh,
Yay!
we made it.
Yay!
Just hit 11 here, so I'm 1 hour ahead from you.
Oh, and the first day of Evil-a-thon is done.
Yeah, so sad. Like I have to go to bed as well because I have to wake up early tomorrow. So I cannot even read anymore. But how did you do? What were you
Yeah,
reading?
yeah. I finished the Sandy Toksvig one, the biography, and I stopped reading Hidden Pictures because I got to 45%, and I thought
Oh no.
I better stop. So yeah, but so yeah, I won't be reading anymore. I'll be going to bed myself too now because I've got a full day work tomorrow. So and then yeah, Amy sprint tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yes, I'm gonna try to join so I can push as well myself.
And then Friday's the discussion,
Yeah,
book club discussion. So yeah, lots of
nice,
reading.
nice. Yeah, I'm already like scared because I don't know if I'm gonna read much when I'm in London for a week because we have plans for every day, and I'm like I'm gonna be so behind with my reading. But sometimes it is
Are
what
you
it is.
staying in a hotel in London? Are you?
Yeah,
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 lovely.
yeah,
So Yolki's 2 days, I think, isn't it? It's
yeah,
normally three, but it's two.
yeah, exactly. So normally it's 3 days, and it's only two. I want to go one day book shopping in the city, as I always do, visit Forbidden Planet and
Of
all that good
course.
stuff. I always go to like secondhand bookstores. There's one that I know of that has some hardcovers from Stephen King. I've spent too much money there. I bought like a first edition of it and a first edition of Pet Cemetery.
Great
Was not
books.
cheap. Yeah. And I want to go visit um, Kensington Palace and the V&A because Red, White, and Rare Blue. So I want to get that done in one day if I can. We'll see.
I love the V&A. It's my favourite I love the British
Yeah,
Museum, but the V&A I think is my favourite museum in London.
I've never been there. I've been to the British Museum, but when I was young, I think I don't know, I was young, maybe 18 or something. And I remember all the Egyptian stuff because that's the stuff that I like the most. But it's been a long time, so I might have to revisit it. But I've never been to the VMA, so I'm like, perfect excuse to go now. So
I like the V&A,
yeah,
and the difference between it is, of course, is the British Museum is full of objects that were basically stolen from
yes,
countries, whereas the
facts.
V&A is all donated.
Donated, yeah,
So that's
yeah,
the big difference. I mean, I love museums generally, but
yeah,
the V&A
same.
is a beautiful place, and it does mix ancient with modern. So there's quite a
Mm,
lot of modern artworks and stuff in there as well.
mm.
So yeah, it's a good, lots of walking though in London. Get
Yeah,
good shoes on.
yeah, yeah. We always walk a lot, so yeah. But also Yalk, you don't really have much places to sit, so you're standing or walking most of the day as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm
So you'd just be
excited.
reading. You'd just be reading at night if you've got enough energy.
Exactly. If I have enough energy, sometimes we like to watch some telly, but if the hotel has something, but yeah, it's mostly just British TV. And yeah, I think one day I'm gonna try to go maybe visit the Harry Potter studios because I've never visited them, but I don't know yet. We'll see.
Yeah. My niece goes twice a year. She's a
Oh,
massive fan,
crazy.
and she goes twice a year. She absolutely loves it. I've never been. I'm not keen on um parks, things like that.
Hmm.
So I'm not keen on them. But yeah, she loves it. It's good fun, supposedly.
Yeah, I've been looking into it. I think you have to take a bus or something to go there, and you have to select like a time slot and stuff. So I have to
It's
see if I
quite
book it
expensive, I
beforehand.
think. I think it's quite expensive.
Probably like everything. Yeah, but I'm like I've never been, and they've threatened to remove it a couple of times, but they never do. I guess because it keeps bringing in money. So
Oh, it's always packed. My niece says she's always packed every time she
yeah,
goes.
yeah,
So, people love it. But yeah,
it's
so I won't worry too much. It might be easier to watch something on the telly at night than read.
yeah. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how my battery is at the end of the day. Oh, the cat.
Yeah, it's the only problem with London is like, even if you're catching public transport, it's a lot of walking, everything's so far
Yeah.
apart.
Also, the tube is sometimes so full because normally Yelk is in
Yeah.
summer. So when we're there, normally we have to take the tube to like the basic areas in like centric areas in London is so packed. And it's like, and it always looks so claustrophobic to me. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to other like undergrounds, but if in
Yeah.
Germany and here in the Netherlands, the trains are like much
Yeah, it's the
wider.
same in the
Like
it's the
you
same
have
in the
space.
States. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I go to London, it's always like, why is this so tiny? It looks like I'm in a bullet, and I'm just.
I
It
lived
just
in
looks
London.
so.
I moved to London when I was 16 and I worked there for several years. And one of the worst horror stories, ghost stories, short stories I ever read was this guy who wrote a story about a tube that kept getting more and more people got on. And in the end,
Oh
nobody
no!
could get off. They were all jammed together.
Oh
So
no!
the underground, it's supposed it happens often. So the underground has this like underground cemetery for all
Oh,
these packed trains, and they just leave them there for people to die.
it sounds like a
It was
Junji Ito
brilliant.
story.
It was brilliant. Don't read it. Don't read it before going to London.
I always find it so weird because it's like round, it's like round, and it just looks
It
like so
is.
weird because I've never like I've only seen those in London. But yeah, I'm
I used to catch
excited.
them all the time. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a weird thing. Traveling underground, anywhere where you travel underground is weird. You
yeah,
know what I mean? 'Cause you
fair.
think cities above you. It's a
Yeah,
bit weird. I
yeah,
prefer the buses myself, but
yeah. But yeah, well, normally
it's
we just take
quicker.
the tube. Yeah, to get to the center and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited.
It should be a bit quieter in November, hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping because normally we go when the Yelk is in summer and it's packed. So I'm hoping it's gonna be nicer now.
The only
Probably
place
less tourists
will
and stuff.
be busy, I suspect, is Oxford Street because the Christmas decorations will be up within
Oh,
the next week or so. So that'll be a busy area. But for shopping and stuff like that.
yeah.
But hopefully the majority of people in London, are going to be people who live in London as opposed to tourists. Because the weather is shocking here at the moment. Can't imagine it's going to be good then.
No, I don't think so. But it's fine. Here is also not the best anyway. So
At least it'll be nice and cool in November. I expect it's quite warm in July.
yeah,
So there's that.
yeah,
There's that. Yeah.
yeah. But maybe I'll return to England, like go to other places that is not just London, because I have many friends also in the book community and stuff that live other places, and they kind of not all go to York. So maybe I'll make like a little tour in other places in England.
Casher on tour, you see?
Yes,
Here you go.
exactly.
It's sorted, isn't it? Get
And I'll
yourself
write
a little
about
car.
it.
Get your little car drive. It won't take you long to drive around England. It's very small.
Yeah, no, I can't because then I have to drive on the other side of the car, and I don't think I can do that. I don't think my brain
You'd get used to it, darling. You get
like
used to it.
the roundabouts, like it's different, like the direction. I'm always like, how do people do it here? That's what scares me about it, that there's like a different in direction, and the steering wheel is not where it's supposed to be. It's like,
Yes, the public transport is pretty good in England. It can be a little bit unreliable sometimes, but compared to other countries, it's pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
mean, I
But
lived in the States and public transport is non-existent pretty much over there,
great.
unless you're in a major city.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's why everybody has cars in the States. Yeah,
yeah,
and big cars
and
because
because of
things
the
are far away.
distance.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I don't drive either. I used to have bikes when I was younger. So,
Let me see what
but
Andreas is writing us.
yes,
Mm,
I heard this. Yeah.
let's see.
He's a bit, oh,
Magical
okay.
writing. Oh.
Oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds
Mhm.
interesting. I love emetic principles. Um, mm, yeah,
Nice.
I will look that up. Thank you.
So I got a 50% into my book.
Good.
And I like it. I mean, the first chapter is basically like I suspected this guy doesn't want to listen to his brother and decides to go to a bar and get drunk and gets a girl. And then the next he knows, he wakes up in his pickup truck, and the girl is missing a head. The head is on his lap, and she has been stabbed multiple times as well, just for
Sounds
fun.
marvelous already.
And there is puke involved. Yeah.
Ah,
And yeah, and then he's fled the scene now, and he's on the run. I guess that's why it's called Murder Run. And the police now have to figure out what happened. And he also doesn't really, he is trying to remember everything that happened that night and stuff. And I don't know if it's something that happens to him a lot, like a casual Wednesday for him. Uh, because I think he's been like either in jail or somewhere before, and he keeps saying, "Oh, this keeps happening to me," and I'm like, "Is this like something that has happened before?"
So is he like a killer when he's drunk?
I don't know. I don't know if he knows. I guess we'll have to figure it out.
It sounds fun though. Sounds fun.
Yeah, but it's very like not for everyone. Like it already
Yes.
starts quite like disturbing and messed up. So
Yeah.
not for every reader.
Just for us.
Yeah, just for us messed up people. Thanks for
Bye, Ella.
coming.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we're also going. I also need to get ready
Yes,
for
we are.
bed. Need to wake up early tomorrow. And I'm 1 hour ahead of you. So thanks
You
everyone
are.
that
So it's 20
joined.
past
Yeah.
11.
Yes, for me, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks everyone that joined. The next
Yes.
sprint will be on the 6th of November, also 8 p.m. for me, but I will post it in X and Instagram so you guys can save it. Get a notification on YouTube when it goes live. But it will be the 6th of November on at 8. I'm doing it on a Monday because the Wednesday I'm taking the train to London. So in order not to be on Tuesday where I'm blocking Amy, I'm doing it on a Monday. So there's that. Um, and so that I have time to pack on Tuesday as well. So that will be
It's
in
so
a Monday.
exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh.
Also because I'm taking the train, so less stress. I can just read the whole way to London and I don't have to worry. So yeah, really, really excited. I can take all the books I want because the weight is not a problem.
Brilliant.
So yeah, really excited. Well, thank you,
Oh,
Sharon, for joining me tonight to
absolute
start
pleasure.
Kickstart the Readathon. And everybody follow her. And I think I have your TikTok and your Instagram in the description box.
Thank you.
And she always gives us lovely morning messages. And when she forgets, people get worried.
I
I've
had one
heard.
today. I didn't
Yeah.
do one. I didn't do one till this afternoon because the day got ahead of me, and I had like about a dozen direct messages
Yeah.
saying, "Are you okay? Are you all
So
right?"
lovely. Yeah.
But I live on my. I'm mainly on my own. I have my husband, but he works, so
Yeah.
it's just I like having a chat.
Yeah. I love those messages. They're really nice in the morning, like they cheer me up in the morning.
Oh, good, good, good.
All right. Then I'll talk to you and you guys. I'll see you on the 6th for the next sprint. Thank you guys for
Take
coming.
care.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.